What is going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Jasia McCants, and I specialize in helping busy women burn fat and tone their bodies without giving up their favorite foods or spending hours in the gym. So today I want to talk to you guys about how to hack your metabolism so you can eat the foods that you love and still lose fat and actually keep the fat off. So let's just jump right in. We're going to start off with my personal transformation. So, just a few months ago in March of 2023, I gained 20 pounds of fat and I felt absolutely miserable. So, I ended up tearing my ACL and I couldn't walk or exercise for about 6 weeks because I had to have surgery. I sat around feeling sorry for myself and I was what you would call sad or stress eating and stress drinking. Like, I'm a big Dunkin' and Starbucks iced coffee addict. So, every single day I was getting these things just to make myself feel better, which didn't really make me feel better. It made me feel worse about myself because I was gaining fat in the process. So instead of just doing what I could, I just gave up and decided to do nothing but watch Netflix documentaries and gain fat. I mean, I did do my physical therapy exercises, but that took me like 10 or 15 minutes and it wasn't really anything strenuous. It was just focusing on the one leg that I messed up. It wasn't anything to help me, keep fat off or lose body fat or gain muscle or anything like that. It was just stuff to get me back functioning. So only took me about 6 weeks to gain that 20 pounds of straight fat. And I felt disgusted with myself. So what I did was I just started exercising and doing what I could. And most importantly, focus on building better nutrition habits. So what happened when I started exercising and building those better habits? I lost those 20 pounds in 5 months. And that may seem like a long time, but it is a lot harder for me to lose weight compared to others because I was always really skinny growing up. So this is like my first time being, not my first time, but my second time really being overweight. So it is a lot harder for me to lose weight than it is to gain muscle. So it took me a lot longer than it does for some other people. But I ended up exercising 5 days a week and I focused on getting stronger each week and I didn't focus on the scale weight because I personally know that muscle weighs more than fat. So just because the scale goes up doesn't mean I'm gaining fat. That could mean I'm gaining muscle. That could mean I'm retaining water. That can mean a whole magnitude of things, but it does not always mean I'm gaining fat. So the scale weight was non-existent. I didn't really care about it. I just focused on the way my body looked when I looked in the mirror and compared progress photos. And I didn't cut out carbs or eliminate any of my favorite foods or eliminate my iced coffee from Dunkin' or from Starbucks because those are just things that I love to have. And I'm not going to live a life eliminating stuff that I don't want to eat. I'm not going to live a restrictive lifestyle. Like I want to eat what I want to eat when I want to eat it. And I don't want to cut that out, but I still want to have a body that I want to have. So I learned the skills needed to help me keep body fat off for good while still eating whatever I wanted and drinking whatever I wanted. And I learned how to help others do the same. And that's what I'm going to teach you today. So as you can see in these two photos right here, there's a huge difference in my face size. Like this right here, I feel like Alvin and the Chipmunk. And this right here, I feel like Jasia. Like I feel like the normal Jasia. That's who I'm supposed to be. As you can see, this little hair piece stayed the same. So that was about the only thing that stayed the same in these two photos is that little piece of hair. But you can see the difference clearly between 20 pounds of straight fat and then, losing that fat. So let's talk about my client Tyra here. Now, when Tyra came to me, she had tried working out in the past, but she wasn't seeing the results that she wanted. She didn't know what or how much to eat to lose weight, and she didn't know how to keep that fat off for good. So she'd lose a little bit of weight and then she'd gain it right back. It was this vicious cycle of lose 5 pounds, gain 5 pounds, lose 5 pounds, gain 10 pounds. It was constantly a back and forth, and she could never figure out how to lose that weight and keep that weight off for good. So after we started working together, Tara currently has lost 27 pounds while still eating her favorite foods every single weekend with her husband and her kids. There's nothing that she's eliminated from her diet unless she chose to just eliminate it completely. But there's nothing that's off the table. She can eat whatever she wants and still lose weight. Obviously, she's lost 27 pounds doing this approach. So she learned how to work out for her specific goals and to focus on her target areas. So her target areas were belly fat, back, tone up her arms, turn up her thighs. And so I program her workouts that specifically target those areas versus her following a workout plan that she sees from some lady on TikTok that may or may not work for her. And Tyra also gained the knowledge she needed to help her continue to lose weight and keep the fat off for good. So anybody can help you lose 30 pounds. Anybody can help you lose 100 pounds. But if they don't teach you how to keep that weight off, you're just going to end up going to another trainer or you're going to end up frustrated and you're going to accept defeat. So that's why I'm really big on teaching you how to keep the fat off for good. So you'll never have to use another trainer. So you'll never have to feel disgusted with yourself or disgraced or upset with yourself. You'll feel good about yourself. That's what all of us want, is to feel good about ourselves. My client Thomasina here lost 11 pounds of fat in just 1 month. So when Thomasina first started with me, she was under eating and she was working out, but she just wasn't losing weight like she wanted to lose weight. So as soon as we started working together, I told her you're going to eat more food. And of course that blew her mind because like most people she's heard the phrase eat less and move more. So when I say eat more and lose weight, it seems kind of contradictory, but there's a reason we did that. I'm going to get to that later in the presentation. But she started eating more food and she lost weight quickly. Obviously 11 pounds in 1 month, that's about a rate of 2 pounds per week. So imagine losing 2 pounds every single week while still eating the food you love and eating more food than you were before. Like it's mind blowing. But just recently here, Thomasina went on vacation and she was able to eat and drink whatever she wanted. And when she came back from vacation, she had actually lost another pound. So instead of gaining 5 or 10 pounds because she drank, margaritas or ate, tacos every day or whatever she ate, instead of gaining that weight, she actually lost a pound because we hacked her metabolism. So that's the beauty of hacking your metabolism. You can go and you can eat whatever you want. You can go on vacation and do whatever you want. And when you come back, you'll still be on track to reaching your goals, or you wouldn't have gained any weight. You either stay the same weight or you have lost another pound. So when Thomasina started with me, she weighed 187 pounds, and now we're at 171 pounds in just 3 months. So what? That's 16 pounds that she's lost in just 3 months. So that's over a pound per week, and we're still losing weight. We're still trending down. And she, like I said, just went on vacation and she dropped a whole pound from being on vacation. So three things that guarantee you will not lose weight. The first one, which is what I see in most of my clients, is under eating and over exercising. So most of you have heard the term eat less, move more. So that's a mentality that you have. You eat less food and you move a little bit more and you think, oh, well, I'm supposed to be losing weight. Why am I not losing weight? It's because your metabolism sucks. You've been eating so few calories for so long that you're starving yourself, but you're still expecting your body to do more than it physically can. So what happens is a term that's called metabolic adaptation. So your body gets used to the few calories that you're feeding it, so it just adapts to that. It's thinking, oh, we're in survival mode. There must be a food shortage out in the world, so we're going to conserve everything that we've eaten because we don't know when we're going to eat again, and we don't know how much we're going to eat. So we're just trying to keep this person alive. We're just trying to keep their heart beating, their lungs working. We're just trying to make sure that this person wakes up and is able to move throughout the day. It doesn't care about fat burning. It doesn't care about muscle building. It doesn't care about anything but surviving at this point. So when you eat too few calories, your metabolism adapts to that and it down regulates. So that's why people say they have a slow metabolism. Most of the time, they don't just have a slow metabolism. Honestly, nobody has a slow metabolism. Your metabolism has down regulated because of the way that you fueled your body or the lack of fuel that you've given your body. So and metabolic adaptation applies to if you're overeating as well. So if you're eating 3,000 calories, you may gain a little bit of weight to begin with, but then your body's just not going to do anything because it's just used to those calories. So that's why it's a constant battle and a constant push and pull to kind of get your body to make changes based on how much you're giving it or how little you're giving it. The second reason here is you're not following a sustainable approach and you're looking for a quick fix. So if you want to keep fat off for good, you need to have a sustainable approach to your fitness journey. If not, then you'll gain all that weight right back. And eliminating your favorite foods is definitely not sustainable unless you just enjoy torturing yourself and you plan to do it for the rest of your life. Nobody wants to give up pizza and burgers and tacos and queso and guacamole and like all of this stuff just because they want to lose 30 pounds or just because they want to lose 100 pounds. Like we all love cupcakes and cookies. Who wants to give up cupcakes? Who wants to give up donuts? Who wants to give up, pecan pie? Like I doubt anybody does. So it's not a sustainable approach because you're going to cave in and you're going to eat that stuff and then you're not going to know how to balance it out. So you're going to gain that fat right back. That's what I mean by having a sustainable approach so that you can stick to long term. And then next, you're following every fad diet that comes out that comes out just to fail and end up right back where you were before, or even worse off. So we'll just take the Atkins diet or the keto diet or Weight Watchers, any of those diets. Maybe you started following them, you lost a little bit of weight, you were like, oh, this feels good, this feels good. I'm losing, I don't lost 30 pounds, I don't lost 60 pounds. But then the cravings hit. And then you're like, dog, I could use a pizza right now. Dog, I could use a cupcake right now. So then you eat it. And then you gain all that weight right back. Or maybe you gain more weight back. Maybe you lost 30 pounds and now you gain 50 pounds because you didn't learn the habits that you needed to learn, the skills that you needed to learn to keep that fat off. You weren't following a sustainable approach, so you caved in and you were not able to stick to that diet. So you gained that weight right back. That's not a sustainable approach. You need to have an approach where you can eat your favorite foods as much as you want to eat them, or you can eat your favorite foods every single week and you can still have the body that you want to have. That's a balanced approach. That's something that's sustainable because we all want to eat pizza and cupcakes for the rest of our lives, unless you just don't like pizza and cupcakes. Well, then find a favorite food. Maybe you like Reese cups. Maybe you like pasta. You want to eat those things, for the rest of your life. You don't want to cut those out because those are things that we actually enjoy eating. And life is about enjoying it. It shouldn't be about restricting stuff because you want to have a six pack. That should not be the approach that you take. You should follow a balanced approach that's sustainable for you long term. And then the third part, excuse me, the third part is you doubt yourself. So if you believe you can, then you will. If you believe you can't, then you won't. It's literally as simple as that. If you don't believe that you can lose 30 pounds, you won't even try to lose 30 pounds because you've already accepted defeat before you've even started the journey. And when you believe in yourself and you know that you'll do whatever it takes to reach your goal, you will reach your goal without a doubt. So if you say, I want to lose 30 pounds, but I know I can't because it's just too hard for me, I can't stop eating Reese cups, I can't stop drinking Dr. Peppers, like, okay, you're accepting defeat. You're telling yourself you want this, but you don't want it bad enough because you'd rather drink Dr. Peppers and eat Reese cups every day. Like, that's what you'd rather do. You don't really want to lose that 30 pounds because if you did, you do whatever it took to lose that 30 pounds. You get up and go to work in the morning because you have to, because you want food on the table. You want a roof over your head. You want to provide for your kids. You want to provide for yourself. You want to go on vacation. That's the reason you get up and go to work every day, not just because most of the time, just because you love going to work and listening to your boss, complain or tell you what to do. You go to work because you have an overall goal. You have to pay bills. You have to have a house to live in. You have to have a car to drive. Those are things that you will do whatever it takes to keep or to get. So that's the same way you should be with your fitness. If you believe in yourself and you have a goal that means so much to you, maybe you want to lose 30 pounds because your doctor told you to because you have high blood pressure. Well, guess what? If you don't lose that 30 pounds, you're going to die prematurely, and then who's going to take care of your kids? You got to think about these things. If you want it bad enough, you'll do whatever it takes to get it, and that's without a doubt. So now the part that we've all been waiting for, how to hack your metabolism so you can lose fat and keep it off. So the first step, this is what I do with all my clients, we begin at maintenance. And what that essentially means is we're not eating in a calorie deficit or a calorie surplus. We're just giving our bodies the calorie it needs to function properly. So if you're under eating when you first come to me, I'm putting you into maintenance. If you're overeating when you first come to me, I'm putting you into maintenance. It does not matter which side of the spectrum you're on, you're going to start at maintenance because what we're going to do is replace those bad habits with better habits. It's not about being perfect here. It's about getting the bad out and getting some good in. So what are bad habits? What are better habits? If you're eating highly processed foods, we're going to go to some more high quality nutrient dense foods, but you can still eat processed foods every single weekend. That's called balance. If you're drinking your calories, say you're getting Starbucks every single morning, or you're getting Dunkin', or you're drinking Sprites or Dr. Peppers or Cokes, you're drinking your calories. So instead of drinking those calories every single day, why don't we just cut it down to maybe 5 days, and then we'll go down to 3 days, and then we'll go down to 1 day, and then you yourself may not even want it anymore. I had my client Paige who said her cravings changed just because she hasn't had those things in a while, and that's what an addiction is. Your body's addicted to Dr. Pepper, it's addicted to Reese's, and when you break that addiction, when you stop eating those things every single day, you don't even want it anymore because it doesn't taste the same because you're not addicted to it. So we stop drinking those liquid calories every single day. If you're doing no exercise, we're going to throw in some exercise. If you're doing too much exercise, we're going to dial it back some. There is a balance here from doing not enough to doing too much. You have to find that perfect balance. And then sleep. If your sleep is crappy, everything else in your life is pretty crappy. Your stress level is crappy. You have high stress because your sleep sucks. You have low energy because your sleep sucks. Your digestion sucks because your sleep sucks. All these things are impacted by your sleep. So we make sure that we get some quality sleep in every single night because that affects every other part of your life. If you're lacking sleep, you're going to be craving a lot more than if you were to get 7 or 8 or 9 hours of sleep every night. So sleep helps with cravings, helps with feeling full, helps with stress, literally helps with everything. And then water intake. A lot of the women come to me saying they drink 40 ounces of water. That's nowhere near what women should be drinking. At minimum, women should be drinking 92 ounces of water, minimum. That doesn't include like activity levels, like if you're overactive or if you work out, you should be drinking more than 92 ounces of water. Like, come on, ladies. Water intake, so important for everything, every single thing. So replacing the bad habits with better habits. That's how to hack your metabolism in the first stage. And then after that, we enter our fat loss phase. So we're not eating less and moving more. That's not what fat loss is. That's what weight loss is. Weight loss is eating less food and moving as much as you possibly can. Fat loss is actually a formula. So we'll enter a calorie deficit. We'll focus on workouts that target multiple muscle groups. We'll do cardio every single day, even on rest days, and we will definitely take rest days. I personally take 2 rest days. Most of the women that I train, they'll work out 3 or 4 days a week, and then they have rest days the other 2 or 3 days, whatever the case, 3 or 4 days. So cardio, we're going to walk every single day. We're going to do some cardio at the end of our workout, because if you do it at the end, you burn more calories, you burn more fat. So weight loss is just eating less, moving more. That's what weight loss is. It's just 1 + 1 is 2. Fat loss is like y = mx + b. You have to figure out those variables to get the actual solution. The scale is not your friend here. Like I said before, muscle weighs more than fat. So if you're looking at the scale and it has gone up from 170 to 175, that does not mean you've gained 5 pounds of fat. That could be water weight. You could have gained muscle there. It could be anything, but that doesn't mean it's fat. Progress photos and physical changes are the biggest indicator of fat loss here. So how do your clothes fit? What's your energy like? What's your sleep like? Look at your progress photos. Does it look like you physically made a change? Most of the time it does. Give it a few weeks. It does. I guarantee it. We're focused on losing fat here. We're not focused on losing weight. We don't care what the scale says at all. I don't care what the scale says. I care what your progress photos looks like. I actually care how you feel. If you feel better, that means you're doing something right, right? Like if your clothes are fitting different, that means you're doing something right. If you have more energy than before, that's progress. If you're sleeping better than before, that's progress. It's not about what the scale says. It's about how you feel and what your pictures say, how your clothes fit. And then third up is plan your overfeedings accordingly to lose fat while you're eating pizza and cupcakes. Apparently I'm craving pizza and cupcakes, because that's the verbiage I keep using here. But overfeedings essentially mean where you're eating more calories, where you're eating all that processed food, where you're eating more than you normally do. So the way we personally do it inside of my program, and the way I do it myself, is I eat in a deficit. I do it for 6 days, but my clients usually do it for 5 days. So eat in a deficit for 5 to 6 days a week, and then you have overfeedings 1 to 2 days a week. So what does that look like? Monday through Friday, I eat according to my meal plan that my trainer gave me. And I'm talking as like a client of mine. 5 to 6 days, I eat that meal plan that my trainer gave me. And then I know on Saturdays, I can go and I can have a date with my husband or with my wife, and I can eat whatever I want to eat. Because those are planned days that I have overfeedings. And guess what? The next day I'm going to go work out, and I'm going to use that food as fuel. It's not going to just be stored as fat. So that's the second part. Make sure to work out on the day of or the day after overfeeding, so your body can use those extra calories as fuel and not store as fat. So let's say Sunday through Thursday, you decide, I'm going to meal prep on Sunday. I'm going to eat this Sunday night through Thursday night. And then on Friday and Saturday, I'm going to go out. I'm going to have a drink with the girls. I'm going to, eat tacos or drink margaritas or whatever. And then on Saturday, I'm going to go watch football and drink a few beers or something. I don't really know what people do on the weekends, because I'm just working. But let's say that's the case right there. So then, if you're going to overeat on Friday, Saturday morning, you better be at the gym using that food that you just ate as fuel. Same thing with Sunday morning. You need to be at the gym working out, using that food as fuel. When you stop seeing food as just something that you have to eat to survive, and start seeing it as something that fuels your body, it gives you a whole different viewpoint on what food is. Food is fuel. It's not something that, of course, you have to eat it to survive, but that's what most people do. They eat it to survive, because they're like, oh, I'm hungry. Well, let me just go get Zaxby's. That's not fuel. That's just weighing you down. After you eat that Zaxby's, you're probably going to crash on the couch and go to sleep. That's not fueling your body. Okay, in conclusion, you can eat your favorite foods every single week and still lose fat consistently. I do this personally in my fitness journey, and so do all of the women that I work with. So it's doable. It's been proven. 99% of the women I work with use this approach. They commit to this approach, and they see the progress. The 1% that doesn't are people that don't stay consistent and don't commit to the process. They eat what they want 7 days a week. They try to work out and try to work it off, and it doesn't work that way. People have done it all their lives, and it just doesn't work that way. You can't eat pizza and Chick-fil-A and Zaxby's and cupcakes 7 days a week and then work out 7 days a week and expect to see progress. Your metabolism sucks. Your body sucks. Your digestion sucks. You have to find balance. That's why we follow the approach that we follow. It's called flexible dieting. So weight loss is easy, super easy. Eat less, move more, right? But fat loss takes careful planning and preparation. It's not just subtracting 200 to 300 calories and doing more exercise. It's not about eating less and doing more. That's not fat loss. That's weight loss. Weight loss is eat less and do more. Oh, I'm going to take away 200 and 300 calories from my food, and then I should be losing weight, and I'm just going to add, 10 more minutes of cardio in at the end. That doesn't work. It just doesn't work. Your journey is different from anyone else's, so don't compare your progress to others. It took me 5 months to lose 20 pounds, and it took my client Nisha just 6 weeks. So that tells you how drastically different everybody is. Like, if it took me 5 months and it took her 6 weeks, it's not just because I didn't care enough, or I didn't put forth enough effort, or I didn't do what I was supposed to do. It's just because it's harder for me to lose weight than it is for other people. So don't compare your progress to other people. You're different, you're unique, you have different things that work for you compared to other people. So, most importantly, you can't fail if you don't give up. If you're constantly trying to be better, constantly trying to do better, constantly trying, then you're not failing. Just because you have a failure along the way, that doesn't mean that you failed. That just means you hit a bump in the road and you have to learn how to get over it. So, you can't fail if you don't give up. Always keep pushing. And if you want your own before and after photos, this is my client, Nisha here, who lost the 19 pounds in just 6 weeks, that 20 pounds in just 6 weeks. And you can see the difference here in her arms, in her belly, everything you can see a difference in. If you want your own before and after photos, just like my client, Nisha here, there's a link down below where you can click. You can start your own fitness journey. I'll show you how to hack your metabolism so you can eat whatever you want and still lose fat and actually keep it off for good instead of going through that vicious cycle of losing 5 pounds, gaining 10 pounds. I appreciate you spending some time with me today and watching my video. Of course, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me, and I will catch you guys in the next one.